Imagine being told there's no escape from a condition that will impact every day of your life. Yet glimmers of hope and controversy spark fierce debates among scientists, patients, and advocates. That's the reality for those facing type 1 diabetes, a relentless autoimmune disease that's impossible to wish away. But is a breakthrough near? And what myths are making life even harder for people with this condition? Stick with me, because the truth isn't always what you think, and some of the most popular ideas are dangerously misleading. Type 1 diabetes is a lifelong diagnosis, fundamentally different from type 2. Unlike its cousin, which is sometimes manageable with diet or reversible for a lucky few, type 1 is neither preventable nor reversible with current science. Why? The body's immune system mistakenly attacks and destroys the pancreatic beta cells that make insulin, the hormone required for turning sugar from food into usable energy. Once these cells are gone, they don't come back. Daily insulin therapy isn't just beneficial, it's the only way to survive. It's a condition that respects no age boundaries. You can develop type 1 diabetes as a toddler, teen, or senior citizen. According to recent statistics, diabetes of all types affects over 38 million people in the U.S. alone, roughly 1 in 9 Americans. Yet misconceptions still abound, especially when it comes to potential cures and the power of lifestyle changes. Here's where the controversy gets real. Many people, eager for answers, turn to extreme dietary plans or miracle supplements hoping to reverse their type 1 diabetes. The promise sounds tempting, but it's unfounded. Nutrition undoubtedly influences how you manage the disease, but no diet, supplement, or cleanse can regrow destroyed insulin-producing cells. Without insulin, glucose remains trapped in the bloodstream, unable to nourish the body, and can quickly reach dangerous levels. Lifelong insulin therapy remains non-negotiable. But science is anything but stagnant, and this is the part most people miss. There is an energetic, global effort underway to someday cure type 1 diabetes. Let's peep behind the curtain at some of the hottest areas of research and where passionate debate stirs the field. 3 major frontiers in the race for a cure. 1. Cell-based insulin solutions. Imagine if doctors could transplant healthy insulin-producing cells into someone whose own have been destroyed. This is the principle behind islet cell transplantation, borrowing cells from donors or using stem cell advances to regenerate new ones. New studies are even coaxing the pancreas's other cells to start acting like beta cells, potentially restoring insulin production. Will these approaches work long-term? That's still up for debate, with challenges in immune rejection and cell supply to overcome. Preserving what's left. For people newly diagnosed or identified as high risk, scientists are researching ways to protect whatever insulin-producing beta cells remain. A recent breakthrough with certain monoclonal antibody treatments suggests it may be possible to delay the full onset of diabetes, slowing the march toward insulin dependence. Could this window give hope, or simply delay the inevitable? The jury's out, and ethical discussions rage on. 3. Smarter insulin therapies. Advances in technology are rapidly transforming daily life for those with type 1 diabetes, even if they stop short of a cure. Artificial pancreas systems pair glucose monitors with automated insulin pumps, taking the guesswork out of insulin dosing. Scientists are also developing smart insulin, formulations that respond to the body's glucose changes in real time. These tech leaps are making diabetes management safer, more flexible, and in some cases, almost hands-off. Let's talk genetics for a moment, because this is another minefield of myths and misunderstandings. Genetics, risk or destiny. There's strong evidence that genetics shapes your risk for type 1 diabetes, but it's far from the whole story. If you have a parent or sibling with type 1, your odds are indeed higher, especially if both parents are affected. a phenomenon the American Diabetes Association puts at as much as a 25% risk for the child. However, plenty of people with no family history still develop the disease, pointing to environmental triggers, infections, or other unknown factors. So while genes can load the gun, something else usually pulls the trigger. Curious about the everyday realities, potential warning signs, or how to spot fact from fiction? Here's a handy primer for beginners and beyond. FAQs. What are typical symptoms of diabetes? Be alert for signs like intense thirst, frequent urination, sudden weight loss, nonstop hunger, tiredness, blurry vision, or even an odd fruity smell on the breath. If left unchecked, these symptoms can escalate quickly and threaten your health. Can type 1 diabetes be prevented? The answer is clear. No, prevention isn't possible for type 1. The immune system's attack on the pancreas isn't tied to your habits or lifestyle. This is what fundamentally separates it from type 2 diabetes. Is type 1 diabetes a death sentence? With today's treatments, absolutely not. Careful daily management, including insulin therapy, monitoring, and healthy habits, enables most people with type 1 to lead full, active lives. But, and this cannot be overstated, without insulin, life-threatening complications are certain. At what ages does type 1 diabetes appear? Although it's most frequently diagnosed in childhood, the teen years, or young adulthood, type 1 diabetes can develop at any stage of life. Sometimes adults are misdiagnosed with type 2, further complicating understanding and treatment. Here's a question guaranteed to divide opinion. Should research focus more on preventing new cases or perfecting life-sustaining technology for those already diagnosed? Where do you stand? Optimistic about a cure on the horizon? Or skeptical that lifestyle myths distract from urgent realities? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could inspire someone else.